In this video, we will go over the bans and unbans announced on May 18th, 2026. What do they mean for the format, where the format projects to be, and what you can expect to see in the immediate aftermath of the announcement. This video will be broken down into 3 parts. The first being the bans, the second being the unbans, and third will be what I see will be the fallout of the format thanks to these adjustments. It was wild waking up on a Monday and totally just thinking my Modern Energy Cosmogoy video was just going to roll out with no issues. I look at my phone while walking my dog and get slapped in the face with a brand new modern format. Phlage, Titan of Fire's Fury, is banned. Lotus Field is banned. Violent Outburst is unbanned, and Umezawa's Jitte is unbanned. Probably the biggest bummer for me about this news is that I no longer get to play my signed Phlages in the format. They are beautiful, and I'll have to frame them in a shadow box or something. It was the right call though. Even if Boros was starting to see a downturn, and it was, the deck needed something taken away from it. Multiple months at 20% of the format is a bit ridiculous, and it was taking decks main boarding sweepers just to have a chance. Phlage made this awkward too, because sweeping Boros' threats just fed the Phlage. Boros Energy got to be the best of the aggro decks while also being the best mid-range deck, which meant fast combo decks were the best chance of beating Boros. That, or overwhelming card advantage and a combo, which Aspergorios presented into the matchup. This being said, I think this hurts other decks in the format more than it hurts Boros. It might even make Boros Energy a better deck. There are things Boros would rather be doing than playing Arena of Glory into Phlage, but the 2 cards together were too powerful to not play, and to top it off, if Boros didn't play it, Boros would just die to it. So in a lot of ways it was a lose-lose. This essentially gives Jeskai, Blink, and Domain Zoo the boot from the format in their current iterations. Blink players are going to have to just play Esper Blink at this point, though maybe this pushes a rise of Orzhov Blink again, as well as a powerful mid-range shell. Domain is going to end up going a different direction for the time being thanks to Violent Outburst being unbanned, but we will get back to that in a minute. This also is a surprising shot across the bow at the Boros Ponza list that started to do well recently. The printing of Erode helped this deck a ton, and Phlage was its finisher. I wouldn't be surprised if the deck goes back to playing Karn the Great Creator and Crucible of Worlds, but the list would have to make some other adjustments, so we will see how it moves forward. Lotus Field being banned directly hits Amulet Titan decks. In some ways, this makes Titan actually playable on Magic Online now. The Lotus Field loops were tedious for players to click through. In competitive paper play, poor Titan players that didn't know the deck well would fumble through their combos and take up a ton of time, often leading to longer tournaments. Simplifying Amulet Titan here with this ban will ultimately be beneficial for everyone, and good Titan players will still be able to spike tournaments just as they always have. Titan will probably end up being the most underrated deck in the format, which is weird to say, but I'd expect a strong showing of this deck at the upcoming Modern Pro Tour despite the change. And let's be real, Titan players are a different breed of Magic player. No matter what got the axe, as long as Primeval Titan and Amulet of Vigor didn't get banned, Titan players will find a way to play this deck, optimize it, and put up good results with it. It turns out on the last BNR update, Carmen waxing poetic about Living End being in a great spot was a precursor to this banned and restricted update. Violent Outburst, of Domain Footfalls and Living End fame from before it was banned, is now unbanned alongside Umezawa's Jitte. Violent Outburst is going to see immediate play. As mentioned, the card is going to be a mainstay in the Domain package alongside its partner in crime, Crashing Footfalls. Being able to hold up interaction while having an instant speed way to get 2 4/4s on the battlefield on your opponent's end step is incredibly powerful. Not to mention incidentally having access to the best Oblivion Ring ever printed, as well as Scion of Draco, which is still a force to be reckoned with. Though the deck doesn't even need to be domain related for it to be good. There was a good portion of time up until its banning where Teamer Rhinos decks were a control deck with an instant set of 4/4 Rhinos. Being able to hold up Force of Negation and Subtlety, waiting for the opponent to tap out, and casting Violent Outburst to Cascade into Footfalls is incredibly powerful. Yes, I've said incredibly powerful 3 times now. We even have had some cards such as Overlords from Duskmourn that allow you to take advantage of their effects on the cheap, while they still count as a spell that's CMC 3 or greater, which Violent Outburst wants plenty of in the main deck. Pick up your Fire and Ices again if you want to play these lists. The real threat here though are Living End lists. The deck has already had a resurgence thanks to the new Evoke Elementals from Lore when Eclipsed. Now being able to hit Living End on the opponent's end step will probably be a tad absurd, though to play Outburst you will have to make some decisions as to what cards you are trimming down on to make room for it. Umezawa's Jitte being unbanned will probably not do a ton to the format. It is neat. The card has been incredibly powerful in the past. I just don't think it's up to snuff in a Modern Horizons world. Will Hammer Time play it? Absolutely. Will a deck like Boros Energy now take a look at it? Sure, doesn't hurt to test it. I just don't think Hammer Time is fast enough in the format currently. And Boros would much rather play more Fables or a Lorehold Charm or two than run a Stoneforge package. Though an interesting use case for the card in early testing has been a sideboard piece for the Affinity lists. Seeing this attached to a Kappa Cannoneer would be pretty insane. There are a lot of things that could happen. If you look at where the format was sitting as of this weekend, Boros was already taking a large hit from players leaning into playing Esper Gorios, and other lists starting to run main deck Force of Despair, such as Dimir Frog, and the new Mono Black Lessons lists, etc, etc. I don't actually think these energy lists will be going anywhere though. Last year at the Pro Tour we saw Yellow Hat iterate on the deck with a blue-white build that played Quantum Riddler. There also is plenty of room to just play Mardu and incorporate Orcish Bowmasters, Thoughtseize, and Chthonian Nightmare. The Guide Pride combination may even just shine in Leonardo combo. A card like Lorehold Charm lets you get back all of the combo pieces while having an overrun style of combat trick that can benefit your wide board state. I do think we are going to see 3 major movements in the format. Number 1, there's going to be an incredible amount of Cascade decks over the next month that we'll have to contend with. That could be Domain Rhinos, Living End, and Teamer Rhinos most likely. Number 2, Control and Tempo decks are going to run rampant. Blue-White Control, Dimir Piles, Belcher, and Tron, and then decks that can easily slot in Graveyard Hate will be big players early. The format will finally be fine for sweepers too, now that Phlage has left the format. The more I think about it actually, the more and more I like Tron in the meta moving forward. Tron really has the ability to lean in on Vexing Bauble and Chalice of the Void, and that really can be an issue for the Cascade decks that undoubtedly will be an early menace here. Granted, they probably also will be playing Consign to Memory, so keep that in mind if you decide to play Tron. Though if they are consigning that, then your Ulamog or your Ugin are probably gonna ultimately resolve, so it could be worse. Number 3, combo decks are going to taper off for a bit outside of Gorios, Living End, and probably Broodscale combo. Though I think there is a solid spot for Badgermole/Ashaya combo decks. It's a deck I featured in this video. It could make a splash now that one of its worst matchups in Boros Energy has taken a major hit. I just don't see how these bans will help a deck like Ruby Storm or Yawgmoth, as I think the decks are going to be loading up on Graveyard Hate, and I definitely see Chalice of the Void being a card that's played more than it currently is. Looking at the format, I would think the decks that would rise are as follows in no specific order. Izzet or Teamer Prowess lists, Cascade Rhinos in any form, Living End, Blue-White Control, Dimir Frog, Affinity, Broodscale combo, Badgermole combo, Esper Gorios, Tron, Eldrazi mostly, Blue Belcher, some form of energy variant, Esper Blink, and Mono Black Lessons. The decks that are going to fall or just not exist in some form in no specific order are probably going to be Yawgmoth, Boros Ponza, Neobrand, Amulet Titan, though they will be back at some point. The deck is a cockroach, Ruby Storm, Domain Zoo, and Jeskai Blink. Granted, this is all conjecture, and things will play out as they do. Trying to 100% predict a format immediately after a banned and restricted announcement of this magnitude is more than a tad futile, as the format is going to ebb and flow based on results for a bit. Just expect that you will see Cascade constantly at your local RCQs for a while, as the excitement for this deck, thanks to Violent Outburst being unbanned, is at an all-time high. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. Let us know in the comments what you feel is good about these bans, what you feel is bad about these bans, and also what you expect with these unbans now in the format. We haven't had a big one of these really since Mox Opal, Green Sun Zenith, and Splinter Twin came back into the format, and Mox Opal was definitely somewhat format warping to an extent. And Green Sun Zenith has been a healthy piece of many different decks in the format, mostly in the lower tiers. I mean, Yawgmoth has played it, Titan has played it, obviously the My Love the Badgermole combo deck has played it. But let us know what you think, again, in the comments below, and we will see you all next week.